created Species Nutrition with one mission in mind: to provide bodybuilders and serious athletes with no-nonsense supplements that work. I put my name and reputation on every bottle of Species Nutrition products. If you want to be your absolute best, join the evolution. And we're back for another exciting episode of the Palumbo Podcast. A little different cast today, but just as good. John Romano and our good friend, Jimmy Mentis. What's up?
What's up, guys?
What's with the, you look like you have you're in a podcast studio or something like that.
Yeah, I got bored, so I built a whole studio, like full blown studio.
Oh, I thought you just glued those noises, little things on the wall.
Yeah,
I love those things.
Yeah, they're glued. You know what? They make a big difference. Not only do I like the look of it, but they actually do help.
Do you feel like you're in like some kind of like solitary confinement, like a coffin or something like that, with all those things around?
No, I'm good. Listen, I'm a loner, man. I like the dark.
So can you hear your heart beating if you're really quiet?
Sometimes I can hear it when I'm loud too.
It gets scary when you as you get older and you start hearing things that you probably heard when you were younger. You start thinking you're dying, right away. Do you notice that? Every little creak in my body, I think I'm that's it. Elizabeth, I'm coming. It's a big one.
It's a big one, honey.
Have you noticed like if you choke on food or something, you're ready to cough, you just go into full blown panic attack?
No, I don't. But if there's other people around, I have to let them know that it was just a piece of food. I'm not actually, there's nothing wrong with me. I feel a need to explain that to people. What's that about?
That's funny.
2 times now I've been awakened by this insane anxiety because I watched this documentary about these guys that go caving.
Oh my God.
And this guy got caught. He was like crawling, on his stomach, and he got stuck. And he got stuck with his arm like this. And 17 hours it took for him to die. And then it took another 7 hours for him to dislodge his body from there. And I just imagine how that must have felt dying, like this, squished, not being able to move. How much that have felt. And it just brought so much anxiety to me. I had a dream about it. I woke up from the dream going, I could not go back to sleep. I had a cold sweat. I had to go in the living room, sit under the fan and just wait it out. And it was, and it happened another night, like 2 nights later, it happened again. I had the same freaking dream about caving and being suffocated in that.
You know what, John? I have to do a little rant on this, because when I see these lunatics crawling through caves like that, and I see guys jumping off. Have you seen the new thing they do on Instagram? Jimmy, you probably see this.
Yeah.
These guys will jump from buildings onto, like, they think they're Spider-Man. And some of them make it. They jump from the building to the next building. They climb up the side of the building. They do a somersault onto like a thing and they fall. And every once in a while you see a video where they actually really hurt themselves. But I'm like, you know what? These lunatics absolutely deserve to die if they're doing that shit. It's the craziest thing I've ever seen. I don't know why people do shit like this. I understand exploration. I understand trying to take things to the next level. This is absolute suicide.
Dave, you just said it. It's to the next level. When do you stop?
Death.
Well, death. These people are dying.
Did you ever stop at 315 squats?
What? No, but you know what, Jimmy? I'm not risking. Falling to my death while I'm doing that. There's a control there. I have a spotter. I have, I'm assuming that I'm doing something that my body can handle. There's always, look, if you do a flip I saw a guy, there was a huge hole, and he did a flip from one side onto the ledge of the other side. He easily could have just slipped and fallen into the hole and died, but he wanted to do it for the internet. Okay, for the social media aspect of it. I'm assuming, because there's no other reason. No one else would be even watching him, right? Otherwise,
if he was by himself, would he do that? No, I don't think so. I don't think half the stuff that we see on the internet is.
if he didn't have validation, right, he would never do it.
Right.
But some of these guys do it for the adrenaline rush. A friend of mine named Danny Osmond, not Donnie Osmond, Danny Osmond, he's a rock climber, and he got part of climbing is sometimes you fall, you don't make the next move on the very technical stuff, and you fall, and that fall is, and you got a rope attached to you to the piece of protection. That fall is called the whipper. And what happens is if you have paid out 10 feet of rope since your last clip-in protection, you're going to fall 20 feet, right? You're going to fall the 10 plus the next 10. So whatever that distance of the rope is, it's double the fall. Some of these whippers out into the middle of space are 1,000 feet off the ground. It's like insane.
Oh my God. Yeah.
What he did was he strung a rope. He started now jumping on purpose, right?
Oh my God.
Doing these whippers on purpose. He's in Yosemite Valley, okay, the most gigantic granite rock faces in America, and he strings an 800-foot rope between two peaks, between two rocks. It's like, and it's, I don't know, 1,800 feet off the ground, almost 2,000 feet off the ground, and he connects his climbing rope to the middle of that 800-foot rope, and then he gets on the ledge of the cliff, you know, whatever, 1,800 feet off the ground, and he jumps, and that whole line goes out, and, you know, he dangles in the middle of that 800-foot, you know, rigging. So the park rangers are watching him do this. He goes, "You can't fucking do that. You just," and so he wouldn't not do it because there's no rule against it. And then, you know, they get into this tiff. So finally they arrest him, and they throw him in jail. He spends like a 2 months in jail or a couple of weeks in jail. I don't remember what it was. And this rope is laying out there in the elements and the heat and the rain and, you know, summertime. And, you know, it's a climbing rope. It's not a cable. So he gets back up there, rigs everything back up to do again, jumps off the cliff. And instead of the rope holding him up, it snaps, and he fell all the rest of the way down and died.
No.
Yeah.
And he was probably a happy death for him.
And he was one of the best competitive climbers of all time. He would go have vertical climbs like up these routes, insane, you know, technical 5'10", 5'12", 5'14", you know, difficulty in you know, climbing difficulty.
Yeah.
Insane ability. But he just, when we were germane to our previous conversation, he put himself purposely in that. It didn't even check the rope after it being out in the elements for that long, and, you know, trusted, you know, stupidly. And some of those things, you know, Darwin says. I think
some of those guys, though, John, I think some of those guys have a secret death wish, though. They're almost like, you know what? If I die, I don't think they're afraid to die. These guys.
There's a dude named Alex Honnold.
I'm petrified to die. You know, stuff like that.
Well, they tested this kid, and they found out that he's missing some kind of brain chemical. This guy's name is Alex Honnold, and he climbed El Capitan in Yosemite Valley, with no rope, right? No rope. Free climbed. He's the first guy to ever do it. All right. God. And there was one crux element of that climb where it was like he would be dead, and it was like 1,500 feet up. You know, and he makes it, and they're, during this documentary they did on him on TED or whatever it was, they actually had him tested, his brain waves tested, and they found out that there's a fright element, or however your brain processes fear. He doesn't have it. So
evidently.
No, but isn't that amazing that you can not have that? So
well, that would explain that. To me, that explains a lot. That's a very.
Is that him? You looked him up, Alex Honnold. Yeah,
I don't know if that's him, but it's someone.
But now he's got. Is that a rope or a crack right there?
It looks like some
free soloing.
He doesn't look like he has a rope around him at all, John.
Yeah,
that's free. That now he is probably well over 1,000 feet up off Yosemite Valley's floor, straight up.
Yeah, that makes me feel better that at least these guys are not normal people. Like, at least they're missing something. That explains.
They just can't be normal people.
Yeah.
Number one, because they just think different. So, you know, it's like, and number two, if it happened to them once, are they the same going back into this for the second time or the third time? Let's just say they fall and they make it, right? And they end up in a body cast for 6 months. 9 months later, are they doing this again?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, some of them are. So they're just cut from a different cloth.
Yeah. George Carlin said it best. This was before social media at all. He said if they had a network called the Suicide Network, where people had to volunteer to die on this TV show just to be famous, they would be lined up in droves. You'd have to have elimination rounds, he said, because there'd be so many people that would be volunteering for the Suicide Network, He said, and you know what? He's probably right.
Yeah.
He's probably right. People
Crazy.
want to be famous, even if it's for 30 seconds.
Yeah, and
they want to win, one or the other.
Look at the Hawk Tour girl.
She wants no part of this.
Listen, you know what I love about her? I know everybody's making fun of her. There's something I love about her. It's just her personality. It's just how she came off. It wasn't scripted. It wasn't this. Obviously now you can see that she's playing all this up, right? But what she did was just her. And I don't know who was behind it. Somebody must be behind it. How do these things trend this fast and so much?
Yeah, well, if you can answer that question, you're going to be a quadrillionaire overnight.
I think that she just was in the right place at the right time. Why do certain videos go viral?
The fat girl with the Chewbacca mask, my favorite example of all time.
Yeah,
What, 30 million views she got?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
She was drunk there too, wasn't she?
Yeah, she was definitely drunk. Thank God it wasn't one of our daughters, right?
And within 48 hours, they already had hats out for her. Some guy in Tennessee.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
They were begging her to take her clothes off on OnlyFans,
Yeah.
Oh, she would have made a fortune if she would have done that, for sure.
Well, the thing of it is, it's that I think it's look, if any guy said something, equally
disgusting,
vulgar, okay, it would be hysterical. We'd all be laughing about it, right? Okay, Valentino for a perfect example, okay, just spamming the can and eating the ham and all of that shit. Literally, and we laugh. It's funny, but a girl does it. I'm sorry, it was fucking funny. When she did hot two spit on that thing,
yeah.
I'm like.
Yeah.
John, if she didn't have the Southern accent and she wasn't kind of good looking, it never would have worked.
No, that was definitely an element to answer Jimmy's question. Those two things, you need a Southern girl and
the accent, the cuteness, it worked. It worked.
She had that innocent look and she did something. If some blonde or brunette with big boobs or stripper or porn star did that,
no one would care.
It would have died right there.
Right. No one would have cared.
So what is she doing now? What's her
selling hats now and signing fucking autographs?
Yeah.
For her 10 minutes of fame, she might as well cash in. Maybe she can make some money.
Absolutely. She should cash. She should hire a publicist. Are you kidding me?
Yeah. Who was the other one? Oh, that other girl who's on Dr. Phil. Was it Catch Me Outside or Catch Me Outside?
Which one was that?
She was a guest on Dr. Phil.
Right. What did she say? What was her claim?
Cash Me Outside or Catch Me Outside. How about that?
Oh, the Catch Me Outside girl?
Yeah. I mean, she's making millions.
Bad Babby, I think her name is.
Yeah, something like that. She had her own album, her rap album after that. Now she's only she did like 40.
What was her claim to fame?
What she said on Dr. Phil. Dr. Phil just went, what? It was a whole episode. I saw that, and I was
I didn't actually see this. I don't have that, but that's the girl.
Yeah.
She's kind of hot too, so that's why it works.
But now the Hawk Tour girl, if she was smart, she would start a foundation, for women. All right, to lighten up, let the inner hooker out, have some fun, spit on that thing, and make it fuck, more women did that. You know how much happier guys would be?
John, I think TikTok has allowed that.
It has.
Hold on. This is the girl. Danielle Peskowitz Brigoli, known professionally as Bad Babby, Bad Baby, is an American rapper and internet personality from Boynton Beach, Florida. During her appearance on the talk show Dr. Phil in 2016, she uttered the phrase, "Cash me outside, how about that?" for which she became best known. Due to its brief viral recognition and meme status, the remark became her catchphrase and led to merchandising and to her capitalizing on attention with a recording career.
Yep.
Cash?
Listen, her 2017 debut single, I Hate Who, Heaux. I don't know how you pronounce that. I guess it's like These Who, peaked at 77. So she's the youngest female rapper to have a song enter the chart. She then signed with Atlantic Records to re-release the song along with its follow-up singles, Hi Bitch and Gucci Flip Flops, featuring Little Yachty, both of which moderately entered the chart and received platinum certifications by the Recording Industry Association of America.
Now she has an OnlyFans page.
Well, yeah, they have to go to OnlyFans when they can't actually do anything that actually has talent required.
I think her taxes. It was I just saw it on my timeline somewhere. Somebody was talking about it.
They don't pay taxes, Jimmy, and then they will wind up owing the government.
But that's how they found out. I think she did pay taxes, and that's why they found out how much she made. She's like $40 million.
What?
And yeah.
So why is she doing OnlyFans now?
Well, that's what I'm saying. She did $40 million in OnlyFans.
Oh, she made $40 million off.
Yeah. Listen,
you know what? I guess if you can make $40 million, it might be worth it. I guess.
So excuse my total ignorance of this. What exactly is OnlyFans? Is it videos? Is it video chat? Is it
everything. You remember back in the day when bodybuilder girls would have like their own website and they had a member section, John?
Right.
And the bodybuilder chicks would put the naked pictures of themselves in the member section.
But it's not. So it's pictures. It's not live.
No, it's live.
Some of it is live, right?
Really? Yeah. It's video.
So you can have live stuff. You can have pictures and videos on there. Whatever it's all naked shit usually. You know, it's stuff you can't get.
Come on, Johnny. You tell me you don't have an account.
I swear, Jimmy, I have never. People, I feel like such an idiot.
There's so much free porn out there. What do you need?
Your OnlyFans page.
Yeah,
I'm like,
no.
You know what the funny thing is? All those OnlyFans pictures and videos wind up on the free sites anyway because
free porn sites.
They re-upload them there. But you know what? Some people, John, like Blackman, they have to have it the minute it comes out. You know, like the New York Times. Yeah, you catch the latest. No, I'm going to catch it on rerun on next week when it's.
I'm actually really surprised, very pleasantly surprised at that, that our industry does not produce more porn stars.
Yeah, well, we don't know about them. I'm sure we do, right?
Back then they did.
No, I mean, but a handful. I don't mean the gay shit. I mean, like, you know, you could count on one hand the women porn stars that worked out at Gold's. It was Barbara Dare. It was
right, but you don't need that anymore, John, because you could just do an OnlyFans page. You don't have to do porn because if you do porn, all the porn winds up on the free sites anyway. So you might as well do your own stuff on your own OnlyFans page. You know?
Huh.
So there probably is more. Is like social media naked stuff, you know. That's really what it is, I guess.
You know, there's a lot of people that I know and a lot of companies that I know that actually have an OnlyFans page, and it's literally just business or it's just for their fans.
Oh, really?
And to tell you the truth, when OnlyFans first came out, I was talking to my social media manager, you know, before the whole acquisition thing went on, and we actually created, if you search an OnlyFans, BeautyFit has an OnlyFans account.
Is it naked pictures of you, Jimmy, on there?
It's actually no, but you know, if this whole podcast thing doesn't work out, that's where I'm going.
You can spread Beauty Bum on and get hits.
We'll do some product placement on my hairy ass.
Who's this guy, John? Right here. Hold on. Who is that guy? Do we know that guy?
Yeah, we know that. Well, we used to know that guy.
Yeah. How old are you there, Jimmy?
That was 90.
Oh my God, that's you?
John didn't even know it was you. I knew he didn't know it was you.
Holy shit.
Yeah. Now hold on, John. Are you surprised from the hair or the abs?
Both.
Yeah, both.
Yeah, I remember that shot with Robert Reef. That was at my peak, that whole 96, 97, 98.
You had an 8-pack. That was pretty cool, dude.
Yeah.
What did you weigh there?
Soaking wet, maybe 260.
Would you have fit into classic physique division?
260's light.
Your height?
I was the classic physique until I went and tried to play the big game.
Oh, I'm saying you would have been a good classic physique guy, probably.
Yeah. Yeah.
You got well up over 300, didn't you?
Yeah, my off season was 325, and I think
but he didn't need to get that big, is what he's saying. He looked better when he was smaller.
Yeah.
I mean, if you go to my IG, there's a couple of pictures there with like my front double bicep and stuff like that. I mean, I had, like, for me, 250, 255 was perfect for me. But then again, I was in an era of all the big boys, so I played the big boy at the Arnold.
How tall are you?
I'm 6'1". At the Arnold, I weighed 290.
Isn't there a picture of you two together at over 300 pounds? I seem to remember somewhere.
Yeah, there's a. I think Mike Nephew shot me at 324 with 24-inch arms, and
the two of you together. Wow,
I'm 275 there.
Fuck, dude,
that's big. Yeah, that's pretty big.
Pretty lean too.
Yeah, I was ripped. Like, I suffered. Like, that was, like, I look at that picture and I say, how did I ever get there? I remember doing cardio, 40 an hour in the morning, training twice a day. I mean, you look at those things and you're like, man, how did I do that?
Were you living in Gold's Venice at that time?
No, not that picture. I was living in here in Florida.
Oh, you were? Okay.
Yeah, that was, like I said, 90, 95, 96, 97. Those 3-4 years, 95 to 98, 99, that cover was in 96. Those my peak years. 4 years were just, I mean, it was just, I mean, it just, I just clicked,
Were you making money? You should have cashed in a lot more, I think.
I was making money. I can say I probably made, I was up there in the top 5 money makers because I was
okay, good.
Yeah, I was on tour. I was on tour 36 out of the 52 weeks for 4 years straight.
For who? Who was hiring you?
I was doing guest appearances because I was on all these covers.
Oh, okay.
So I would go to Spain. I would go to FIBO. They would bring me out to different gyms. So everywhere I went, I made it like a whole little tour. Like, if I go to FIBO, I also visited 5-6 gyms and 3-4 stores. Because don't forget, when you're on the cover, the only way they get to meet you is if you show up.
Right. Who's that chick?
That was my first Muscle and Fitness cover ever. That's 1988, 89. I forget her name, but that's the Greek Muscle and Fitness. That's the first.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I had no clue what I was doing there. I said, just grab the top of the pole. Yeah. So good old times, man. Good old times. So I want to talk about something that's been really, I was going to talk about it on my podcast, but I like to, bring it up here because I know you guys have strong opinions. Let's talk about the fitness industry.
All right. Before we do that, I want to do a shameless plug for myself, if you guys don't mind.
Go.
We have a special sale on Species Nutrition for this weekend happens to be the USA Championships, which is kind of weird because it used to be such a big weekend, right? I mean, right. The USA was like the biggest thing. Everyone was there. Even if you didn't compete, you were there watching, and it's like no one even talks about it anymore. I mean, I have a lot of guys in the show that I'm working with, but no one talks about it, and it's kind of just I find it weird that no one does. That the USA is just not such a big deal anymore. I mean, it's a big deal for the people there who are going to try to get pro cards, but it used to be an event,
The freaking Olympics isn't even interesting anymore. Does anybody know that the actual U.S. Olympics is going on right now?
Did that open ceremony today? I didn't even know.
Nobody even knows. Remember what?
So that's because no one watches regular TV anymore, John. That's the problem.
True.
But I mean, so anyway, we have a special sale on speciesnutrition.com. 30% off the entire website. Use the code USA30 on checkout. Also, I want people to try Protolize, my protein pudding. I reformulated it, and it's got 7 strains of probiotics in there. So we're offering it at 40% off, $23.99. I guarantee you, I got to send you guys each a tub too. It's the best protein pudding on the market. It's 30 grams of protein. It's got almost no fat, no carbs, and it tastes unreal. And you put 2 ounces of water in there, you mix it, and you got instant pudding.
So it turns into pudding while you wait, like instant pudding?
Yeah, and instantly. It's instantly. And I mean, it's great at night. I'll usually use 2 servings of it. I don't care. I'll do, because 60 grams of protein is fine for me. But I'm saying for like women, they do 30 grams worth. And
so it's like 120 calories, 130?
Yeah, it's like nothing. Yeah, it's like 150 calories, something like that. But it's It's great at night because it takes that sweet tooth edge off. And now that we just reformulated with the probiotics, I'm really, I'm into gut health. Obviously, Fiberlize is our number one selling product, but the probiotics now are, populating your intestinal tract while you're eating it. So it's going to only make your body function that much better. So it's a truly, truly unique product that's on the market. And I think once people try it, and that's why we're offering it at such a low price, I think they're gonna continue using it. It's a great product, especially while you're dieting. So there's my plug. Yes.
Dave, your Fiberlize is amazing.
Yes. Thank you.
I purchased it, and I started taking it, and I was like, it's Dave's. That's all I said. It's Dave's.
Right.
Then Tammy, obviously, women have some more issues on constipation. She was doing her own thing, and she had her own concoction that she would get from Whole Foods and stuff like that. And she ran out. And I said, hey, go in the cabinet and use Dave's. And she's like, where is it? Meanwhile, your shrink sleeve, when it tears off, it tears off.
You can't.
I know the whole thing comes up.
You got to fix that on the manufacturing side, okay? Because now
I've complained about that for
something
years.
about it. It's just a white can.
Yeah.
So anyway, I said, just take a scoop of Dave's stuff, and tomorrow you'll go and get what you need to get. So the next morning she comes out and she's like, whoa. She goes, I think I lost 5 pounds. And now she's hooked.
Yeah. Well, it's because they're all people don't realize all fiber supplements are not created equal. You want to use a high swell rate psyllium. I'm the only one who produces one on the market because it's an expensive product, the raw material. But if you want to have the best product out there and you want to lay claim to it, you got to use the best ingredients. So I've been doing it. It's funny because Fuad, Abiyad, who has got his podcast, all his guys on the podcast use it, and he was just kidding around and said I can't use a fiber product. So I texted him. I said, hey Fuad, I'll send you a tub of mine to try. He's like, fiber bothers my stomach. I said, it's probably because you have a weak colon. So I said, start out with like a half a serving a day and build up to it over the course of a few weeks. And he's hooked now. He was like, holy shit, Dave was right. I can't believe I had a weak colon.
Yeah,
wow.
That's good stuff. Good stuff.
Yeah, very good stuff.
Right. All right, getting back to what we're saying. So anyway, this weekend is the USA Championships. So for 2 days, Friday, Saturday, we're gonna have the sale, and then it's also the Dubai Pro. Yep. Now, I think it's worth mentioning here. First of all, we have Sid out in Dubai. I was supposed to go, but it was last minute type of thing. I didn't want to do it. But Bader Badai is giving away $100,000 first place. We haven't seen that much money given away at a pro show since the Arnold started, right? I mean, the Olympia, I think, was the first one to do 100, but then Arnold gave away 100.
Is there any money second place?
There's what?
Any money for second place?
Yeah, there's a lot. I don't remember what the breakdown is, but it's $100,000 for first place. Now, when I hear that, and first of all, Dubai, and you guys have been to Dubai, I think, right? Have you been to Dubai, John? No. Nope. It's a wonderful place to go. It's like it's better than Vegas, I think, now. And $100,000. And if I'm a bodybuilder trying to qualify for the Olympia or even going to be doing the Olympia, why wouldn't you jump into a show to win $100,000? Think about it. You don't have to work the rest of the year if you make that. I don't know why the lineup is not stacked to the hilt. I mean, it's a good lineup.
No, I think it's stacked. If you look at the last ones, I mean, some last minute entries are going in, right?
Yeah. I mean, we got Nexzilla's in the show,
Any big name?
Nexzilla.
That's the biggest name?
Rubio. Well, he's, I'm going to pull it. William Bonak's in the show.
Bonax, that's a name.
Bonak's in the show, yeah.
Bonak, Deasha is doing it.
Nathan Deasha, yeah. Beiruz Tabani, who just, won that show. But I mean, aside from that, we don't have I would thought we would be stacked with American.
Yeah, there's no U.S. presence in that.
No, it's really kind of weird that why wouldn't a Hunter Labrada go do this show?
Exactly.
Or even Andrew Jack, why wouldn't he? He's doing Texas in a few weeks. I was asking Chris, why isn't he doing the show?
They're probably all guest posing for Dexter Jackson this weekend.
I don't know, John. $100,000. That's a lot of reasons to go do that show.
I'm telling you, you got a good point there.
I bet Nick Walker is probably in contest shape right now. He probably could have jumped in this show.
Maybe they look at it as like, disadvantageous financially. Like they got to get all the way over there and
Fine, it's $100,000. How much rationalization do you need?
That's for one guy. What about the 8 other guys you want to go?
Yeah, but then again, Dave, they're spending all the money. They're saying, "Can I really win it?"
Right. That's what I'm saying.
The names that I'm mentioning the ones I'm mentioning.
Yeah, one of them could have made it.
And
what's the other 3 guys going to do?
Well, you don't think Hunter can beat this lineup?
No.
I don't know. Bonac is pretty good.
You know what? Speaking of Hunter, I love him in his off season. I think he sold me on his off season, and as he gets closer to the show, he does something. And I hope he, but I mean, think about it. Now the qualifications, you got to win a show. A lot of pros, a lot of guys who were in the Olympia last year aren't going to be qualified this year.
Yeah.
Beirut Tabani is.
Why doesn't Andrew Jack do the show? He's got to qualify for the Olympia anyway.
Good point. He would have been a good one to put in there. Yep.
He's never lost on a regular show basis, so that would have been a good guy to enter. I mean, I think Chris Cormier was thinking about doing it. He was when he saw that $100,000. Now Chris is helping Rubio Mascara Nexzilla, so he's looking good.
He's also, what's his name is doing it, right? Isn't there a classic bodybuilding too?
I believe so. Yeah. I got to let me look up the lineup. But I mean, I have to really take my hat off to Bader for putting up that money.
Hell yeah, man. That's
great. I think he'll be the first person to do $1 million. Yeah. I think he'll be the first guy to do $1 million.
Probably. I mean, we're still doing pro shows that give away $10,000. I mean, geez. Right. So this is freaking great.
Yeah.
Have you guys noticed that
there's a 212?
Yeah, Breon's there.
I don't see his name on this. Oh, yeah. Breon's classic though. Classic. Here's the classic. All right, Breon. Yeah, he was smart to go over there.
Yeah.
He's really the only named guy in this line. There's a lot of international guys, but Breon is the biggest name. He's so smart. Why not go over there? Yep. Why wouldn't he go and win? And Danny Union, another guy smart, going over there too. Danny will probably be second behind Breon.
I love Breon, man. He never wears a shirt ever.
If you can pull that off, for sure.
Yeah, there's very few people that can pull that off.
Off season, preseason, 8 weeks out, 12 weeks out, 3 weeks out. He doesn't give a shit.
I always said to myself, would I rather be one of those guys who can walk around without a shirt all the time, or would I rather be like one of the biggest guys? And, when you get into bodybuilding, you get bit by that big bug. You want to be huge. And so I just went for the huge aspect of it. But Breon has both. He's like a shorter guy, but he's got like a lot of mass, and he has that like aesthetic physique that he can walk around without a shirt on. Chris Cormier used to take his shirt off at the clubs, John. Remember?
Oh yeah, 100%, all the time. All the time. Yeah, doing whatever.
He was sweating his balls off, but he didn't care.
I remember at the Arnold Classic one year, when Flex won, he came second.
Yeah.
You remember that club that used to go? It was downstairs. You walk in, it's like a little room, and they're like, "Hey, it's over here." And you go through a door, it's all like packed.
Yeah.
As soon as he walked in, took his shirt
off. Yeah.
A lot of clubs back in the day, you took your shirt off.
There's not a better, if you want a wingman, if you want to go to a club and have a good time, there's not a better person to do it with than Chris Cormier. I got news for you. I've gone to a lot of clubs with Chris, and every time I've gone with him, I had a good time. It doesn't matter who else is there. Just being with him is fun, because he's just a fun guy,
And he's very shy too. Like, I'm surprised I see his success on Olympia TV. And he's really
good with analysis, though. He's very good. Good.
Yeah.
He's very good.
Yeah.
I like him.
He studies the sport. That's why he's not just like, you think he doesn't really know what's going on because he looks very laid back, but he sees everything. He's very good with pointing out how people pose wrong and present themselves wrong and all that.
Yep.
He's got a good eye.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's a big weekend. USA Championships, and we're going to have some amateurs crowned. We're going to have a lot of amateurs probably crowned as new IFBB pros. And then we have this Dubai show in Dubai. So separate parts of the world. And
Dexter Jackson Classic.
Dexter right up the road here.
It is. This is the time of year where there's a lot of shows on multiple weekends. But I have to believe that the biggest amateur show, one of the biggest amateur shows in the world, is the USA Championship. So, and then this Dubai show, aside from the Arnold and the Olympia, is the biggest pro show
for sure.
At least in terms of giving away prize money. goes.
Now, do you think Bader's just kind of like getting his foot in the door with the 100 G's, and now next year he's going to bump it? And
I think it's going to go. I think what Bader's goal is, to be honest with you, is that that the Sheikh of Dubai is a bodybuilding fan. I met him years ago.
Oh, really?
He loves bodybuilding. I think Bader wants to prove that Dubai is a real viable place to put bodybuilding. You got to remember, Dubai was part of the whole Rafael Santoja organization.
Right.
So it was very hard for Bader to break into that area with the IFBB Pro League. So now that he has, and I think he wants to show off, look, this is what Dubai is great. It's a great place for bodybuilding. I got all these stars out here and all these bodybuilders. It's a great show. We're giving away a ton of money. And I think if the country gets behind it, like most of these Middle Eastern countries do, and they start ponying up some money, you're going to see the prize money go super, super high. And it's going to blow up. I've been saying it for years that Dubai is the obvious capital, should be the obviously new mecca of bodybuilding in essence, John, because there's money there. And the people, and in Dubai, like in the United States, they want to arrest you for being a bodybuilder. In Dubai, they want to give you money for being a bodybuilder.
Right,
it
exactly.
only makes sense to go there to do it. You know what you got to do.
For big shows, I think one of the considerations that people don't understand is the size of the footprint of that show. You know, like the Olympia, for example, is such a huge footprint. There's only a few venues in the world where it will fit. Right. Yeah. So you got Dubai as a place that's got some amazing venues, huge spaces, and incredibly opulent and beautiful, well-built, beautiful stuff, So where they
want to showcase bodybuilding,
What if the Sheikh is into it, why not? I mean, that's like, so you got the thing is, the good thing that they have going for them is you got Oxygen Gym, which is kind of like a boot camp, so to speak, for bodybuilders. Now, if they can expand upon that and make it like, they have lodging, the food, like everything, so that's plug and play. They got a pharmacist there, they got everything you need, doctors, everything. So you can go there, check in at 280 and 10% body fat, and come out the other side 300 at 2%, and every mad scientist in the world is going to ply his trade there and just make it a bodybuilding factory, right? And then also hold an extremely prestigious, well-paid show there. So I mean, it's the place is ripe for it. It's probably one of the, like you said, maybe except for the insane heat, it's probably one of the best places in the world to do it.
It's Mexico with the opulence that they need, and because Mexico doesn't care about anabolic steroids. I did all these videos this past week, and they have them. They sell them in the gym. Same thing with Dubai. It's not an illegal drug there. They don't care. They never have. They never will. They think it's ridiculous, like we all know it's ridiculous to make it a controlled substance. And so the bodybuilders are not committing crimes, being there and doing what they got to do. And matter of fact, they're being actually applauded for it because it's like something that they're proud of over there. Like, look at this guy. This guy is now living in Dubai and he's representing us. He's amazing. Hold him up. Like, look at Ramy. Ramy's a national hero in Egypt. So it's like, here we are trying to struggle to be bodybuilders in the U.S. and hope we don't get arrested, because we're using performance enhancing drugs, which they don't like here because Biden made them illegal in 1990. And and in the other countries, you're being raised up as a king, So where are you going to go? I mean, it's almost like
Mexico.
Well, the problem with Mexico is they don't have. It's not as luxurious as.
There's places in Mexico City that rival anything in the world. You go to Polanco in Mexico City.
But John, there's no crime in Dubai. Zero.
That's the truth.
There
you go. There's
unless you run someone over with your car by accident,
But I mean, but there is, I think there's a proximity issue too. I mean, it's quite a trip to get from New York to Dubai.
It's a direct flight though. It's 14 hours.
Is it 14? Is it 14 hours?
Really?
Yeah.
Can you get that room that Lee Priest had?
Yeah, if you have 20 grand. You can leave out of Orlando too. They have a direct flight. Oh, wow. That's what I did last time. I just drove to Orlando and flew out of there. So.
14 hours?
Miami too. Yeah, 14 hours. So it's much better than it used to be. Emirates is a really nice airline too.
Beautiful, yeah.
So the Lee Priest way he went, that's if you can fly that, Forget about it.
That was insane. That was absolutely insane. He had a 2-bedroom apartment on the airplane.
What bodybuilders should try to do is get sponsored by Emirates Airline. That and get free flying. I mean, that alone would be worth it.
Oh, wow. Right? That ticket was like, what, 10 grand?
I think it was 20 grand.
20 grand. Yeah.
Was that business class or first class?
For the top first, that you couldn't get any first class here.
Right. He had his own room.
he had a 2-room suite with a bathroom with a shower. He stole the leather slippers, and
most people were eating like filet mignon. Lee was eating like candy, probably.
Yeah, anything you wanted to eat, he could eat as much as he wanted. They kept bringing it to him.
And he flew to Dubai, or where else? Where'd he go?
Russia.
Oh, you know what? I saw something. Something. Yeah. So the promoter in Russia or whoever flew him out.
Yeah. I always wondered why people would spend so much money on these plane tickets. And there is a level of trying to impress people, but it's a write-off too, a business write-off. So, because people would say, well, why didn't Lee just ask for the 20 grand in cash and he could have just, flown regularly?
They probably got points. They
get all kinds of they might even get the flights for free for all.
Right.
Some kind of exchange for one thing for another.
But it was nice. It shows that they respect him and everything like that.
Yeah.
It was great. Yeah.
I like seeing Lee back out there.
Yeah. He's happiest when he's doing his thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, what happened to his eye? Because I haven't been able to get in touch with him. I was in Mexico, and then I found he got his cornea replaced or something like that.
He didn't tell me anything.
He didn't tell anyone. It was on his Instagram. Let me pull it up. And I reached out to him, and he didn't respond. It looked like he was wearing the same thing on his eye that I had when I had my cataract removed.
Oh, really?
Do you think that he tried doing another face tattoo and the tattoo on his lip?
It's a good question. I don't know. I don't know what happened. I even sent him the link to the show, and normally he, responds immediately because he's always.
It's funny. He had the face tattoo, then he had the face tattoo taken off, then he put the face tattoo
put it back on.
This is the other eye, though. This guy didn't have the tattoo.
Oh wow!
How come he doesn't sell us anything?
Cornea replaced, right side face numb, had to tape eye shut as it would not close. Greg Valentino, did I tell you I had eye surgery? Can't wait to go back out and tell the waitress. So I don't know what happened to his cornea. I don't know if he got into a fight or a scuffle with someone. I don't know. So
holy shit.
Yeah. So I'm sure we'll find out.
Yeah, we'll find
at some point.
Next show. Yeah.
All right. Well, I have to wrap this up. Plus, there's a lot of footage and coverage coming in from Dubai now from Sid. He was out there covering the show for RxMuscle and doing some announcing and all that great stuff. So, Jimmy Mentis, thanks for joining us. We'd love to have you back.
Yeah, good seeing you, Jimmy.
Thanks for having me.
As we get closer to the Olympia, we do some iron debates. We'd love to have you on too.
Absolutely. Yeah. Thank you.
All right, guys. Thanks for joining us. That's going to do it for today. I'm Dave Palumbo with John Romano and our special guest, Jimmy Mentis. We'll see you next week.
Bye, guys.
Bye.